Oh no, we've got this so wrong. Game week 2, let's react to our predictions. Which game we starting with?
Well, we made a few mistakes, didn't we, Theo? Starting with West Ham United 1, Chelsea 5. Now, we both predicted that Chelsea would win this one, but the floodgates were open, weren't they, Theo?
Absolutely, Phil Dad. I said West Ham 1, Chelsea 2. What was your prediction?
2-1 to Chelsea.
We agreed on it, but we were right about Chelsea. We were wrong about how many Chelsea would score. Maresca came in with a game plan. Last minute, he was halted by Cole Palmer getting sick, but they were still sick in the forward line. Esteval, João Pedro, the list continues. How good were they?
Well, they were good, Theo, but the way it started was interesting. First of all, like you say, Cole Palmer injured. Paqueta got the early goal, and what a good goal that was. Then Fulkrug had the ball in the net, could have been 2-1, ruled for offside.
Do you know what? It would have been a 2-1 prediction, like we both mentioned, if West Ham knew how to defend corners. After watching the highlights back, I realised 3 corner goals conceded. This is a game decided by not enough training practice by Potter's West Ham boys. And it's a shame because football fans spend a lot of money every week to go support your team. When you lose 5-1, no one is ever happy, especially the Irons. So we were wrong, but we were right.
Do you know what, Theo? There were certain players who I feel really sorry for. I thought Paqueta had a really good game.
Absolutely,
I thought Ward-Prowse was very dangerous at times. And Bowen, I love that guy. He works so damn hard. But you look at those 3 and you feel sorry for them because the players around them, not good enough.
Well, I'm going to get straight to my man of the match. I think it's João Pedro. 2 assists, 1 goal. There's no doubt he deserves it. He was always around in the box, the right place at the right time. He's got a forward instinct, and I think he's going to gel into that Chelsea team brilliantly.
You know what? Man of the match, João Pedro. Manchester City 0, Tottenham Hotspur 2. I thought this would be a narrow one, 2-1 to City. You thought it'd be 3-1 to City.
I did.
I've got to say, we got this wrong.
It was that Wolves game. They won 4-0. Everybody got involved with goals. Rangers was unbelievable. Haaland scored a brace. Even Cherki came on and scored. What happened at the Etihad? It's like a bad nightmare. It's old Pep Guardiola. Same year. 4-0. They lose 2-0 this time. Maybe next time it'll be 0-0. How do we break this down? Well, first of all, they were a bit of a mess in defence. It was all over the gaff. I didn't know who was really running the defence. I know they've got solidity and experience in Ruben Diaz and John Stones, but there was no solidity throughout the whole team.
Do you know what, Theo? For me, it was all about new players coming into the team. So you had 8 or 9 Man City players who last season were either not there or were not regulars. Trafford made his mistake. He'll hold his hands up. He'll get over it. He made that mistake, but the whole team was below par.
The first goal actually arrived from a long ball over. Richarlison headed it on. They used their pace on the break, and Brennan Johnson was on the end. That was off the back of an injury at left back, so Nathan Ake came on and replaced him, and the defence was in tatters. I mean, it's all training ground stuff. You've got to be able to keep your shape. If Richarlison, who isn't even a target man, is cutting you open with headers, you know there's problems there for the whole season to come for City.
Do you know what? If you put 11 players on any pitch and they don't know each other, any Sunday League or Premier League, any level, it'll take time to adjust to each other because every player's got their own little intricacies, their own little peccadillos, you know?
I have to say as well, City did start well. They had chances. Haaland cut into Marmoush. Marmoush got on the end of a long ball as well from James Trafford. And it was unfortunate he didn't score either of those 2 chances. Unlucky from the Egyptian. And if it wasn't for a Vicario early reflex save, the game could have been different.
Do you know what? I thought Vicario had a really good game. Palhinha, Richarlison, Brennan Johnson. There were strong performances across the team.
Thomas Frank has done the one thing that Spurs needed last season to solidify that defence and midfield holding, and part of it is João Palhinha, the goal scorer, defensively brilliant. He's covering that defence, he's doing so much distance on the pitch. Spurs fans love him, and there's a reason why. But my man of the match is actually his partner in crime, Pape Matar Sarr. He was the one that took the ball off Traff to make Palhinha score, but he always won the duels. If you watch him play, in general, he's growing into his own position. Tottenham fans love him, and for a reason. He's so good.
Do you know what? For me, Palhinha is man of the match. He got his goal and he did so much hard work. AFC Bournemouth 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. You said it'd be 2-1. I said it'd be 2-1. So we get 2 points each for that. Because we said that the home team would win by a single goal. And it was Marcus Tavernier, deflected goal early on.
And it couldn't have been more than 1 goal because Bournemouth were dominant, especially the whole first half. Well, actually, Wolves had 1 chance where they actually played the goal kick over from Sarr. And on the end of it was one of the Wolves players, I think their midfielder. He was unfortunate not to score that. But apart from that, there was dominance from the Cherries. Andoni Iraola set them out to attack, and they did that. and there was threat all over the pitch. David Brooks was putting in good crosses. Semenyo was unlucky not to score a second to get on the end of it. But not just him, Tavernier was late arriving. He took his goal well when Semenyo set him up. Bournemouth can attack well, and they stayed solid at the back. They kept the clean sheet. They did what they had to do.
Yes, they did, Theo. So, and it could have been 2 or 3. Semenyo missed one from 3 yards. Absolutely should have been in the back of the net. More possession, more passes. Strangely, Theo, I'm going to give the man of the match to Emmanuel Agbadou from Wolves, who won every single one of his ground and aerial duels. Did a last-minute tackle. They lost.
That's the only score that counts.
1-0.
The only numbers that allowed in football is the win or loss, and they lost, Dad. They turned up, they lost 1-0, they got dominated.
So who's your man of the match?
Give it to a Bournemouth player, do the right thing.
No.
I'll do the right thing. Semenyo will get the applause because he set up the goal and should have scored a second, got in the right place. He's a threat, he's going to get a lot of man of the matches this season. I'm going to give it to Tyler Adams. Tyler Adams worked his arse off all game. He actually won the ball back for Bournemouth to score their goal and nearly scored his first Premier League goal from range at the end. I think Bournemouth fans will agree. They got the win. He ran the show. Well done, Cherries.
Burnley 2, Sunderland 0. I said this would be a 1-1 draw. You said it'd be 2-1 to Sunderland.
I had a shocker.
So, respect to Burnley. We underestimated you in this game.
Did.
This is a massive win. An absolutely massive win for Burnley.
It's so early in the Premier League. You're basing off one team of getting smashed to Spurs and the other that just battered West Ham at home. And we saw a completely different 90 minutes at Turf Moor. Burnley are proving that they're in the shot. Every team that's got promoted has got 3 points now. And actually, the game started how I expected it. Sunderland, with a lot of pressure, they had 2 chances. One of them, Mayenda, could have scored. And you thought there'd be more to come. Adingra using his pace down the wing. The problem is, when you go to a ground like Turf Moor, it's a small pitch. All the Burnley players, they know how to win and graft out results there. And slowly but surely, they got back into that game. And once Ballard was injured in the 9th minute, I feel like the defence was a bit of a tatters. When you bring on a new centre-back, and you don't really know the fullbacks as well, problems are going to come. And what they did is they put the long ball to Jayden Anthony, who's quite tall on left wing, and they caused problems because that Hoon at Sunderland, he's weak in air. Using Jayden Anthony to your power in the air with his pace on knockdowns, he's brilliant. And that's how they caused, I think, 2 of goals, and then he scored 3rd.
Do you know what, Theo? That disallowed goal was a disgrace. That should not have been disallowed. But anyway, Josh Cullen, Jayden Anthony, they got a goal each, they got an assist each.
They set each other up. It was brilliant. Second and third goal, excellent. And Josh Cullen, what a lovely finish. Ex-Bolton, we saw potential in him when he was back in day at Bolton. Now he's running show in Prem. They're not going to have games like this much. Sunderland at home is probably the easiest in the calendar. But they took their chances. Well done, Scott Parker. I think man of the match, who are you going to give it to?
I'm going to give it to Josh Cullen, only just. He took his goal, Will. 1 goal, 1 assist.
Hannibal needs to sort his attitude out. Shouldn't react to Adingra when he was annoying him. And apart from that, I think, Hoon, look at replacement Sunderland fans. He's going to get exposed a lot in Prem. And apart from that, I'll give man of the match to Jayden Anthony. I said Cullen/Anthony. Whichever one you say, I'll say the other.
Yeah. Brentford 1, Aston Villa 0. We got this one wrong. I said it'd be 2-1 Villa. You said it'd be 1-0 to Villa. Now, you look at the stats from this game, Theo. Villa had more shots, more possession, 3 times as many passes. But if you can't put the ball in the net, what's the point?
Home team advantage, it seems to be the story of this week, apart from the Etihad. But we talk about Burnley winning and Brentford winning. These are teams that, if you look at the odds, they're not expected to come over.
Yeah.
So what is wrong at Villa? That's the question that I think people want us to answer. I will say what's right at Brentford. That's my answer. They overestimated with their new team how good they are. Coyote, brilliant at right back. He's about 6'6". He's massive, long throw on him too. Then you've got Damsgaard, who's now got a key role in that forward line. He arrives late, but also great dribbler. He reminds me of Jesse Pinkman a bit too much, but so good on feet. You can see the way he's getting through players. He's excellent. And then he arrives late, actually very unlucky to have that disallowed goal too. So Brentford, they're really doing well.
Ouattara took his goal early, didn't he, Theo? And that was the only goal of the game. I'm going to give man of the match to Mikkel Damsgaard. 3 key passes, 7 crosses, heavily involved in the game. Do you agree with that?
I'm going to give my man of the match to Ollie Watkins. Despite being useless, I feel so bad for him that I need to make him feel good for my FPL. So Ollie Watkins, you're getting a donation of man of the match.
No, you're not.
I'm joking. Ollie Watkins, you were useless. And you're getting sold 9 million in FPL. Get out, me to club. So my man of the match, let's shake our hand for the first time. Damsgaard. But Coyote, big shout out. Run the show more.
Arsenal 5, Leeds United 0. I repeat, Arsenal 5, Leeds United 0. I said it'd be 2-0. You said it'd be 2-0.
Yeah.
But we did say early on in our stream, Theo,
I thought it'd be 3-0.
We said if Arsenal can score early, floodgates might open.
I was really close to putting 3-0. Doesn't matter now. We both backed Arsenal to win and Leeds not to score. We were correct. People were roasting us in Prem predictions. Leeds fans, where you at now? That you were saying, oh, you're writing off the Leeds, the mighty Leeds, Emirates away. Oh, we've got a chance. Okay. okay, have a look at that. You've got Gyökeres, you've got Sakad, you've got Tim Baird. Yeah, all the boys done you dirty because they win at home so much. They barely concede full stop. They got best defence in league. And problem with Leeds is now the headaches start. When I looked at the Leeds board, I was sat on table with them at EFL Awards last season, and I said to him, mate, you know, you go in Prem, it's a different ball game. And he looked back at me, one of the Leeds owners, and said, or the Leeds board, he was like, yeah, I know, we don't really know what to do. And the problem is, they've done nothing. They've not changed Daniel Farke, they've not changed the players, they've not changed anything, and now they're getting battered by proper teams. That was an embarrassing result, a reality check, and if Leeds don't spend a little bit more or figure something out, they're going down.
Almost all teams like Leeds and Sunderland and the West Hams and the Wolves of this world will lose at the Emirates. So in some ways, you've got to write off that game and say,
fine, Dad, but
most people are going to lose that. But you did look. I looked at the Leeds squad and thought, my goodness, the best they can do here is score one goal from a set piece.
There's no story in that team. There's no man who's going to do it himself. There's no Rafinha. That's what we're looking for. A 15-year-old destroyed you. Max Dowman came on and had 2 moments where he could have scored, and they should have gave him pen, by the way. Gyökeres, ego problem for him, to be honest.
Disagree. No, he's
Max
the best.
Dowman should have scored. He scored and become the youngest
Premier League of the last 28. It's not a birthday party for him, Theo.
No, he could have been.
Gyökeres is the penalty taker.
He won the penalty. He
and
could have been the youngest Premier League goal scorer.
The penalty taker. That's stats. Let him score a goal.
This is not something to argue over. I would have done it different. I know a lot of Arsenal fans agree. 2 corner goals and a penalty. They barely scored from open play. Yeah. They do the basics so well. Declan Rice pinpoint as always. My man of the match has to be Jurrien Timber. Involved in 3. Gyökeres scored a nice goal. He set himself up brilliantly for the first, but the second it was just a pen.
Yeah, there looks to be a tree falling in the forest there because I'm going to shout out Timber. Crystal Palace 1, Nottingham Forest 1. What was my prediction? It was Palace 1, Forest 1. And you thought that Crystal Palace would win.
Yeah, but Cassius, roll the clip.
Yeah. Eze's still there. He actually went over to the away end at Bridge and said, this is not a wave goodbye.
Yes.
He dismissed the fact that wave to the fans was a goodbye.
Thank you. I thought Eze was going to play, as proven. And he wasn't. He decided to wave to the Palace fans and say he's not leaving, and then he decided to leave. I was wrong. Now I look like a mug, predicting Palace to win 2-1. But even so, in the first half, I had hope. They were 1-0 up. Daniel Munoz set up Ismail Assar. He actually spotted him so well. The Colombian, brilliant pass. Palace looked on the front foot. I thought they'd kick on and win that by 1 goal difference. I'll be cashing in on points on Thogdad. What happened in second half? They got knackered. They're playing Conference League football midweek. They don't have a big squad. They need to make a bigger squad. Glasner, get in transfer market. Right now, I'm worried for you. Because that second half was all Forest.
I mean, it's a game that could have gone either way, couldn't it? Forest could have got a late winner. Palace could have got a late winner. I think
one show about Palace scoring a late winner, Dad. It was all Forest. Igor Jesus rocked the post, and Dan Ndoye was cooking all game. In fact, Dan Ndoye is lucky to not be my man of the match. He would have been second. I'm going to mention a Palace defender who kept them in it and actually added something going forward from first half.
But you've got to note that both of these teams are now unbeaten. Now, Forest sitting in the top 4 positions. Palace, 2 draws. I think it's going to be one of those seasons where they draw a lot and they're counting down the wins. You probably need 8, 9, 10 wins to stay up.
Palace need a thicker squad. If they're playing in Europe, travelling to God knows Gdansk, wherever that is, you need a big squad. So when you come back to England, you're ready to play. My man of the match is Guehi. He kept it together even in the last few minutes. He had 8 passes into the final third, so added a lot going forward too. What a play.
I'm going to go for a man in midfield, Theo, for Palace, who had 51 touches, 3 key passes.
Hughes. You love Hughes. You love him.
My man, Will Hughes, unsung hero.
But if Igor Jesus scored the winner, at the end, he's taking it. A Forest player. Actually, Dan Ndoye as well.
And now over to the Hill Dickinson Stadium for the first ever time, and it's Everton 2, Brighton and Hove Albion 0.
Yeah.
I thought Brighton would go there, smash and grab 1-0. You thought it'd be 1-1, but sorry, Everton, we got it wrong.
Yeah, fairy tale result. I mean, to go to that stadium and win and get a clean sheet. But in reality, they were lucky.
Yeah.
Very, very lucky. It's thanks to having a good goalkeeper, an experienced man by the name of Jordan Pickford, my England #1. And his water bottle. Out of nowhere, you didn't expect me to bring this out. He had written down Danny Welbeck, 50-50 chance. When he goes to the right, he always puts it bottom right. And Pickford took that information, went right, saved the pen, kept them in it. And not just that, at start, Mitoma unlucky with crossbar. And then after that, you can see that Brighton were really pushing on. They were getting close for Everton.
Yeah.
Grealish.
Yeah.
Illiman and Dye. Them two are just quality wingers. You give them ball, they'll do magic.
Do you know what? In 5-10 years' time, there'll be a quiz question. Who got the first goal at the Hill Dickinson?
Illy Man.
So remember the name. But Jack Grealish was the difference.
He was different,
superb.
pal.
And it's so wonderful. It's like he's taken off his chains. At Man City, he was told to do a certain thing.
Yeah.
He'd go sideways. He'd go backwards. He'd sit on the bench. Now he's like a big fish in a small pond. No offence, Everton.
So us
and
predicting,
he can perform.
I predicted a draw. You didn't even think Everton would score at Hill Dickinson on their first ever game. You thought Brighton would come and steal the party.
Brighton had more shots. They had a penalty.
And that shows, I mean, there were moments where it really looked like our prediction was going to be right. But the gods of Liverpool, they blessed the blue side. So well done, Everton fans. And by the way, your stadium is just beautiful. My man of the match, Jordan Pickford. I don't need to say anything else.
Fair enough, I get where you're coming from, but there was one man, Theo, who had 14 duels in that game, 5 attempted dribbles,
James
2
Garner.
assists.
Garner?
It's Jack Grealish, Theo.
Oh, yeah,
he was the difference in that game.
What about Garner's shot? You got to give him credit.
Oh, superb. Fulham 1, Manchester United 1. I thought it'd be 2-1 to Man United. I think you thought it'd be 1-0 to Man United. We weren't far off, were we? Bruno Fernandes, what a terrible penalty.
Matis Cunha, very unlucky not to score. Hit post in 2 minutes. And a great run down from the left from Dorgu. We're talking about Dorgu more and more in these games.
Yeah.
He sometimes has weird decision making, but I love the lad. I think he's brilliant. I know he watches the vid, so big up Patrick. Man United every game, 90 on 90, getting better. And I believe in Ruben Amorim. He's the sort of manager, he will get it right. I get why you don't want to start Sesko for 90. Mason Mount, lovely link-up play. He actually won the penalty as well that got Bruno that mark on the spot, even though he absolutely skied it. He was the one that got dragged down by Bassi. Great link-up with Cunha, great link-up with Dorgu. I feel like you can't have too many forward players. Like, you got Cunha and Buemo, Sesko. They're all forward-minded. Bruno's got a lot of work creating that. Mason Mount, I can see his role in this team. It is going to work for United, but Fulham, yeah, they haven't made much business. Marco Silva kept his act together, did the job, and held them out and took their chance. Great ball from Iwobi. Emil Smith-Rowe with a touch on. Did you like it?
Man United are a mid-table team.
Man
United are a mid-table team, and we saw this yesterday, Theo.
No, I think they're going to kick on, Dad. I really do. They've got quality. It's going to take time to gel. They've got a whole new forward line. They're going to have to take use. And by the way, if it wasn't for Bernd Leno's important saves, we would have seen Cunha score where he took the ball down from God knows where. Bayendir plays a goal kick, he takes it down. You know he's Brazilian, he ain't even looking, he's got eyes on back ahead, pal. Unbelievable. Matis Cunha will be great. And if that goes in, different game.
Well, I'll tell you what, man of the match for Man United, the referee. The penalty. Okay,
Yeah.
it's wrestling in the area, which by the way happens all the time in every game. If you're going to give that as a penalty, you must disallow United's goal for a blatant push.
Good point, because Lenny Yoro did push over Bassi, right?
Simple as that.
And then when Bassi does it, there's no... People talk about top 6 bias a lot, but maybe that is a direct example of why it's not fair in the Premier League.
What?
But despite that, Fulham, they've not made much transfers. They kept it together at home at Craven Cottage. And by the way, they usually lose that game. And for once, they come away with a point. So well done, Fulham. Tete is my man of the match.
Do you know what, Theo? Kenny Tete, defensive masterclass,
Brilliant.
won 11 out of 12 duels, 75 touches, 1 key pass, man of the match.
8 passes into final third as well. He did everything. In terms of fullbacks, if you're watching, watch his personal performances. Brilliant.
And finally, Newcastle United against Liverpool happens tonight. Give me your score prediction.
My score prediction, I think Liverpool will go out there and batter them 3-1. And we're streaming this. So when you're watching this video, we might be live on main channel. So get over. First link in description and all that.
By the way, the score's on the doors.
Yeah.
Thogdad 7, Thogden 4.